Next on Worcester News Tonight, the state's transgender bill could be one step closer to becoming law in Massachusetts. We'll take a closer look. Plus, an evening of music, how the city's Canal District is trying to become the place to be for evening entertainment. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Madison. Transgender rights in Massachusetts is at the center of legislation being debated between the House and Senate, and it appears a compromise has been reached on a proposal which could give the transgender community more access to public facilities. State lawmakers appear to have reached a compromise on a bill aimed at preventing discrimination against the transgender community. It could be in the hands of the governor later this week.
This is a broad-based protection that every one of us enjoy every day, going into restaurants, stores, things that we take for granted.
State lawmakers tweaked language in the bill to allow transgender people to use public facilities and include penalties for those who try to take advantage of it.
The Attorney General will develop language on what the penalties and restrictions will be for someone who's falsely using the claim of transgender.
What we need is protection for transgender people rather than the other way around, because they're the ones that are most at risk.
While the bill hasn't sparked the same outrage as North Carolina's so-called bathroom bill, it isn't without controversy. In a statement, the Massachusetts Family Institute called the new bill a threat to the privacy and safety of children, saying in part, "The language giving regulatory oversight to Attorney General Healey is nothing more than a legislative placebo. Based on her prior offensive statements about people who have concerns with this bill, we have no reason to believe that the Attorney General will put any meaningful protections in place for some of our most vulnerable citizens." One more vote is scheduled to take place this week, and then it could be up to the governor. Well, state police arrested an Uber driver this week, charging him with indecent assault and battery. The incident comes as the state Senate passes a bill which could require more regulations for transportation companies. State senators passed a bill last week. It would subject drivers for companies like Uber and Lyft to strict background checks. The bill would also set rules for insurance requirements and mandate drivers be certified. Senator Harriet Chandler says the bill increases consumer protection and makes sure transportation companies are accountable.
Very strongly that there has to be a floor and it has to be equal for Uber drivers, for Lyft drivers, for taxi drivers. Uber's probably the future. We call these transportation network efforts. We're going to see more of them, not less of them, and we have to regulate them. I think that's the important thing.
The House has a similar bill. A conference committee is working to resolve the differences between the two. Worcester's Canal District is making a push to be seen as the city's premier neighborhood for arts and entertainment. Tonight, they opened a new music and food truck series. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the sights and sounds.
Everyone loves food trucks, everyone loves free music, everyone loves Kelly Square, so, there's magic to it.
The Canal District's first annual food truck and music series kicks off with a little rock and roll.
Yes, good music, good time, don't have to pay admission, and plenty of food choices for dinners.
Alan Fletcher, a board member of the Canal District Alliance, says they wanted to do something bigger and better than the once-a-year Canal Fest.
This is the first time out of the box.
The series will be held Wednesday evenings during July and August from 6:30 p.m. until dusk.
Get people down here, prove that there can be life on the street in Worcester.
Admission is free, and musicgoers can listen to different bands while enjoying food from a variety of different food trucks.
These are all my food truck friends. I got them all to come down, so this is a big deal.
Fletcher says his hope at the end of the summer is to have attracted more people to the neighborhood.
That is recognized by everybody as being the place to be.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
And as you can see from that video, it was a good day to be outside at a place like the Canal District, but it was also a hot one. Today, by far the warmest day of summer. So our Brittany Schaefer spent the day by the water looking for popular spots to cool off.
Beating the heat, it doesn't get any better than that.
Wednesday is the hottest day of summer so far in Worcester. A common escape from the heat was to be by the water.
It's fun, and it was hot, and my mom said I could come in to cool off.
It's going to be 90 plus, so figured we come with my daughter and go swimming and spend the day at the lake, get out of the hot sweltering heat.
We like getting dumped by water buckets here.
Two hotspots in the city today were Shore Park Beach and the spray parks. Worcester residents say the water temperatures were refreshing.
Oh man, I felt so good when I went in the water. It was so hot. As soon as I went in, my body just felt so good. I didn't want to leave the water.
Water's actually pretty good. It's not cold, it's not hot, and I'm going in there because I'm gonna try to teach them how to swim without a life vest.
The city's 2 spray parks, pool, and 4 beaches open July 1st.
I think it's great because it kind of brings the community together. You can meet new people, and also just, you know, it's something that everyone can come out and enjoy.
A lot of Worcester residents come here, so they run into friends from school, from camps, so it's just easier for them to play.
The hot, humid weather is forecasted to be around for a few days. It has some thinking about how to keep cool after leaving the water.
AC.
Just stay cool, and then once we leave here, go to the air conditioning.
At our house, we have air conditioners and fans.
Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
And we'll have a check of just how hot it's going to be for the rest of this week coming up later with our full forecast. A collision between a van and a train in Auburn is under investigation. The accident happened earlier today at the intersection of Route 12 and Sword Street. Police say fortunately the train wasn't going very fast, so the driver in the van only suffered minor injuries. Parishioners at a Worcester church trying to figure out why someone would steal from them. The break-in discovered this past weekend, and the suspect also damaged some valuable religious items inside the church. Our Olivia Lemon has a close look at the damage and the investigation.
Shattered glass covers the kitchen floor in the basement at Our Lady of Chenstohova. The Worcester church was broken into Friday night.
They didn't come to pray, but they came to steal from us and to destroy some things in our church.
Father Richard Pollock says he noticed the mess early Saturday morning when he came in for Mass. He says police have launched an investigation. Pollock says the suspect stole money, 12 microphones, a projector, and speakers. It's equipment he uses for church masses with children.
That was kind of heartbreaking that they stole the things I'm using with the children here.
A candle holder valued at more than $2,000 was damaged. It was donated by a family. Father Pollock says families light the candles in their lost loved one's memory.
They were almost crying when they saw this. All the candles and glasses broken on the floor and the stand damaged.
It was a shocking thing to think again that somebody came into a house of worship, whatever denomination, whatever faith you are, and violated that house of worship.
Parishioner Don Courtney says although they hope this doesn't happen again, they will be telling other churches in the area to be more secure. Courtney says, ironically, surveillance cameras were installed the day of the break. 3 suspects could be seen outside of the church on video. It's now part of evidence for the investigation.
Police are now looking through the images, and it's become evidence as far as maybe we can catch the culprits that violated our church.
Father Pollock says thankfully the tabernacle was not tampered with, so masses will still go on.
In this sad moments, that was like a sign of hope and little sign of joy.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
Anyone with any information on the incident is urged to call the Worcester Police Department. Well, Massachusetts' highest court clearing the way for a November ballot question on legalizing marijuana use. Coming up in November, voters will decide if using a small amount of marijuana should be legal. The justices, however, have ordered changes in the wording of the question's title and adding a brief statement that explains the measure to voters. The ruling came just hours before supporters of legalized marijuana planned to turn in the necessary voter signatures to the Secretary of State to assure a spot on the ballot. The Worcester Historical Museum hits a milestone, and it is celebrating all summer long. Wednesday kicked off the first day of the museum's History Bites program, celebrating its 140th anniversary. Every Wednesday, staff will share stories of different objects at the museum reflecting the city's history. Today's topic was the Coe's monkey wrench.
Everyone probably has one in their home, if not a Coe's monkey wrench, a regular monkey wrench. So we brought some from collections, and then we took actual monkey wrenches so people could give them a try, and talked about the popularity of the wrench, how its style hasn't really changed, but there have been modifications over time, and how it's just one of those great Worcester inventions.
The program starts at 12:15 every Wednesday, and it usually lasts for about